So here I was, my dear creatures. I was filming, my dear creatures. Well, you are creatures technically. So I was filming another video for you, and all of a sudden my phone rings, and wouldn't you know it, it was the courier bringing me another toy to show you fine people. And I assume you know what this is. This is the GBA lookalike from Anbernic, called the Anbernic RG34XX. Just to set the expectation for this video, my dear nerds, this will be a fairly fast video, not really edited to the same extent as the others, because I want to show you this. This will not be a review, but more rather a first impressions, first look of the RG34XX. You know, I might as well capitalize on the fact that I got it early, because I want to show it to you as fast as possible, and after a few days, after I properly get familiarized with it, I'll whip out the full review of this thing. But quickly, my dear nerds, before I continue, I just want to say that this specific RG34XX was provided to me by Anbernic themselves, and I'm loving this. You know, I'm receiving review units earlier now. It's amazing. But as always, it's very important for you to know that nobody sees this video beforehand, nobody gave me any money, nobody had any input whatsoever, all words here are my own. So, having that out of the way, let's dive into this thing. The box so far is as simple as it can get. Apparently it resembles the original GBA box. I didn't know this. I saw Ross's video before this. Let's take this bad boy out. We have this normal bag, which comes with absolutely every handheld. This foam thing, which we love. The beautiful handheld itself. Wait a second. Got myself a little rag here, courtesy of... It amuses me because the cleaning cloth is branded. This is from 2 Retro. They sent me a black RG Cube XX. Dun, dun, pum, pum. Okay, enough distractions. Look at... Oh, come on. Just a second, my nerds. Don't you dare click away. Okay, good enough, I guess. Look at this beautiful green color. Like, this really looks amazing. I'm so glad that genuinely nice transparent versions exist. I would qualify this as a pretty freaking awesome transparent green. You know, I'm also gonna receive the transparent red a bit down the line. But so far I am loving the green. Let's check the device out. Actually wait, there's also a USB-C cable here, in this case, and we get a lanyard, or lanyard, you know what this is, lanyard, whatever. We get a screen protector, which is super nice. Tiny pamphlet, let's quickly check it out. Is this English? No, this is definitely not English. This is English. I'm gonna quickly scroll it. In case you want to read something, just pause it, okay? Game streaming. Okay. Indicator light and charging function. Nice, nice, nice. What each button does, really nice. The shortcuts. Game import. Okay, pretty nice. And online play. And of course, the USB cable, which we can't live without. I keep telling you, no matter how many cables you have, take this one as well and put it in the drawer or bag or whatever you have with spare USB-C cables. You simply don't know when you'll need this one as well. Anyway, YouTube magic. Anbernic also sent this nice case, and when I saw it, it really made me laugh, because they really know their target audience. People that will buy this GBA lookalike, they will not be children. They will be people in their 30s, middle-aged like you and me, which appreciate a nice leather case, you know? And just look at this. Actually, wait. Just look at this. It's actually pretty high quality, and it kind of looks like a leather cigarette case that my grandfather used to have. You know, it kind of looks manly with this brown leather. I'm kind of digging it. Yeah, the handheld, the GBA goes in. and bam, protected. Anyway, going back to the device, the layout is totally different than any other Anbernic that we know, my dear nerds. You see, the D-pad is kinda small. I'm not sure how to feel about this. I particularly love the button layout here though, because the GBA only had 2 buttons. They made X and Y pretty much transparent, like they are very hidden, in order to keep the look of this Anbernic handheld as close as possible to the original GBA. And I'm pretty sure that they freaking nailed it. I never had a GBA growing up, but I had friends that had the GBA, and I would always stand and befriend them, orbit around them, because I was curious of this toy, and that's how I know about the GBA, but I never had one myself. However, for my memories, it's exactly like this. So this, in my opinion, is pretty much a 1-by-1 copy of the original GBA, and my god, does it feel nice. It's weird, I have Gimli hands. My hands aren't the biggest, and because of that I don't feel too uncomfortable holding this. But anyway, I was saying about the buttons. The X and Y are perfectly hidden, which I like. There's a single speaker here. There's the right and left shoulder buttons. There's L2 and R2. I don't necessarily like the placement of L2 and R2. I guess you can get used to it, and I understand why they moved it here, because again, the original GBA only had one L1 and L2, one L1 and R1. So when playing GBA, the way in which you'll hold it is that your fingers go on the back here, and these 2 fingers go on the bumper buttons. We have start and select here. Like I said, the A, B, X, Y, the bumpers. Here we have the USB-C for charging, a mini HDMI to connect it to the TV. This actually sports video out as well. Then the manual button is here. There's an M here. I'm not sure if you can see it from the clear plastic. Then there's the reset button here, which at first I confused it with the on-off button. And the microSD card slots here. Now this came with only a 32 gig for the OS, but I actually don't mind that. I think everybody should have their own ROMs of games by now, and I had the card ready. And on this side we have the power button, which is at the bottom. MicroSD a 3.5mm headphone jack, and a volume wheel, which is digital, but this is actually quite amazing because it moves. Actually, let me turn it on. So it moves to change the volume, but you can't rotate it more than this. It has like a spring that makes it go back. I'm not sure if I can catch it on camera, but you have the same tactile under the finger experience as a normal wheel, but it's somehow, I don't know, it feels cool. It feels like something I could really get behind. I love this. I love this more than a normal traditional wheel, to be honest. The screen here, my dear nerds, is a 3x perfect integer scale of the GBA screen, meaning that pixel per pixel we will get an exceptional image. You don't have to stretch to fit like I do. So regarding the volume, you see, you have to like press it like this. You can't press it continuously, but really this is way more comfortable than a normal wheel, because with a wheel you would have to take your finger off of it a bit and push it again. Here you can just do this motion. I freaking love this. I want more handhelds to have this volume wheel, this digital volume wheel. Anyway, I don't think you can see this on camera, but holy heck, can you see the pixels? This is amazing. Now I understand people that are into integer scaling. My nerds, this is one heck of a good looking image. Holy heck, why didn't I appreciate integer scale before? Why am I seeing the light now? It's so weird to me. You really don't need any kind of shader to put on top of the image with this kind of sharpness. Here's some metal slug for GBA. Oh, this image, my nerds, just look at it. I think you can see the pixels. So freaking sharp, I just want to hug myself. Freaking beautiful. I mean, to be fair, I don't like that this is a one system optimized handheld, meaning that it's amazing at GBA, but I expect it to be a bit underwhelming when it comes to emulating other handhelds. Don't get me wrong, the performance will be on par with any other Anbernic. It's just that this is especially made for GBA. So this means that you will have to either stretch to fit or you will have black bars on pretty much anything that we can consider a traditional retro console. No, anything that was with a 4:3 aspect ratio from NES, SNES, all of them, you know, will be, I'm not saying a compromised experience, but it won't be an ideal experience on this. Still, GBA looks amazing. I don't want to exaggerate here. I really don't want to exaggerate, but I think I'm falling in love with GBA. I had other handhelds coming into my arms which were a perfect integer scale of GBA, but there's something about the hardware here and the screen in particular, which I know feels at home. See what I mean? This is Contra, aka a 4:3 game, which instantly gives you unused space on the left and the right. In this case, we have an overlay instead of black bars. Actually, let me fix this real quick and we'll play it as the Viking gods intended. No, this one. Okay, now much better, my nerds. Look at this. Why am I so horrible at this game now? Okay. Let's see, Contra test. I've seen better D-pads, to be honest, but I've also experienced worse D-pads. This isn't really a bad D-pad, like I can hold the diagonal. But yeah, I've seen better D-pads from Anbernic, but this is still pretty good in my opinion. It's not a Pauky D-pad. Now those are really subpar. Okay. Not too shabby, not too bad. So anyway, I guess this should be enough for a first taste / first impressions video of this little guy. I am easily impressed by this. You know, it may be the color option, this atomic green looks amazingly nice. Now, as far as I understood, there's some problems with the screen, meaning that the refresh rate of this isn't by default set to 60 Hz. I can't remember exactly the details, but I think that this is the perfect handheld which will benefit from custom firmware. The second custom firmware like MuOS or Nuli actually starts supporting this. Honestly, I will still need a few days until I can give my definitive thoughts on this particular handheld, but as far as initial first experience goes, I can say this. If you're into GBA, as in if GBA is part of your foundational nostalgia, then you're gonna love this. Is this the most ergonomic? I think it depends on your hands. Do you have Gimli hands, aka small hands? Then you might like it. If you're one of those, I know, very long people with very long hands, then you might have a lot of difficulty playing on something like this for an extended period of time. Personally, just for the, what's the word in English that I'm looking for? I'm tired, you know, it's pretty late in the day. Just for the novelty, yes, novelty of it, I think this is a good collection piece. You know, it sits nicely on a shelf, even if it wouldn't be as used, simply because it taps into that nostalgia with pure unrelenting force. This is made to look identical with the GBA, and this is not a bad thing. I read Reddit forums, I got an idea of the overall direction of what people want. People wanted a GBA clone. Well, now they got it. For me, like I said, I can say that this is part of my foundational childhood memories, because when I look at this, I feel like it's not mine. I feel like it's my friend's handheld, you know? But at the same time, for what it is, it's pretty amazing, you know? It's not made to have the best screen to body ratio, it's not meant to play all games, that's why it doesn't have sticks. It's just meant to be a GBA, and this comes with GBA limitations. But anyway, my nerds, this is all that I have for you with this first impressions video. I simply need way more time in order to form a proper opinion on this. So, tell me what you think in the comments. And by the way, in case you want one of these, there's gonna be an Anbernic link in my video description, feel free to use it, that's an affiliate link. You also help me out as well, even though the price for you remains the same. The more of you use that link, the more I caffeinate myself and the more videos I create. So anyway, this is all from me. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'm actually curious. Does this move the needle for you? Does this impress you in any way? I can't wait to read the comments. In the meantime, I bid you farewell, my dear nerd. I hope you know I love you.